Hello friends, I am here to talk to you about our new A word families. So the new vowel families that we want to talk about today is the word an word families. So A says a, N says n. So this word says an. And so I want you to notice that all these words that I'm going to show you have an, 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 all the way down. All these words have an at the end, which says an. So this is the an word family. So the way we're going to sound this out is just like we did with the at families. We're going to stick our arm out. We're going to go wrist, elbow, shoulder for the three sounds in these words. Now this first one only has two letters, so it has two letter sounds. So A says a, N says n, a, n, a, n, a, n, an. All right, what happens though if we put the letter B in front of an? We make a new word. So B says b, A says a, N says n. So stick your arm out. Here we go. B says b, A says a, N says n. B, a, n, b, a, n, b, a, n, ban. And to ban something means it's not allowed. All right, let's see what happens when we put a C in front of an. We make a new word. This is also one of our sight words too. So C says k, A says a, N says n. Let's sound it out. So stick your arm out. Here we go. C says k, A says a, and N says n. Here we go. K, a, n, k, a, n, k, a, n, can. What happens if we put an F in front of an? What word do we make then? So F says A says a, N says n. Here we go. Stick your arm out. We're going to go wrist, elbow, shoulder. F says, A says a, N says n. Here we go. A, n, a, n, a, n, fan. What happens if I put an M in front of an? What word do I make then? What does M say? A says a, and N says n. Here we go. A, n, a, n, a, n, man. This word says man. What happens if I put a P in front of an? What word do I make then? P says p, A says a, N says n. Here we go. Let's sound it out. It's p, a, n, p, a, n, p, a, n, pan. Good. What happens if we put an R in front of an? What word do we make then? What does R say? R. R says R. A says a, N says n. Here we go. Let's sound it out. R, a, n, r, a, n, r, a, n, ran. This is the word ran. Next word, if you put a T in front of an, we make a new word. What does T say? T says t, A says a, N says n. Let's sound it out. T, a, n, t, a, n, t, a, n, tan. Here's the word tan. Ooh, what if we put a V in front of an? V, what does V say? V says v, A says a, N says n. Here we go, let's sound it out. V, a, n, v, a, n, v, a, n, van. Okay, let's practice just reading them. Now that we've sounded them out, let's just practice reading them. This one says an. What happens if we put a B in front of it? It turns to ban. C in front says can. F in front says fan. M in front says man. P in front says pan. R in front says ran. T in front says tan. And V in front says van. Okay, friends? These are the an words. I want you to practice sounding them out 3 times, blend them, practice reading them, so that when we are ready to read these words in our books, you guys will be ready to go. All right, can't wait to hear you guys read these to me.